There we have it, what a belting little common this one is. I'm down here today on Manor Farm Lake at Linear Fisheries, and as you can see, we've got one already. But I'm going to show you our new crank hooks that we've got coming out. I've been using them since the autumn, and I have to say I'm very, very impressed with them. But first of all, let's get this one back, and we're going to have a move because there's a few fish over the other side. So I'll slip him back and we'll go and have a look. Right, as you can see, I'm now over the opposite end of Manor. This is the Whitney Bank, and as you can hear, the road is right behind me. But the fish are incredibly close in here. I've been watching them show over the far side all morning, and there's 2 swims here. And like most day ticket waters, with them being incredibly busy, when people reel in, there's no lines, no pressure, the fish coming really close. So I've literally come around with just my rods and a few bits, and I've put 3 rigs out there now. 2 I've opted to fish on the hinge stiff rig that I caught that fish on this morning, and then 1 on a zig because, as you can see, the sun's out, I'm most likely going to get burnt and the fish are up in the water. So there's one now. It's really, really looking good for a bite. It's just a matter of time, hopefully. But let's look through that hinge stiff rig with the new crank choddy hook in more detail, and let's run through it now. So here's the hinge stiff rig that had that fish on this morning. Going from the top, I've got a 20-pound mouth trap, so pull a little bit off of that. You don't need too much because obviously it's a short rig. I then get the scissors, cut either end at an angle so it goes through the eye of the hook easier because it's quite a thick filament. I then put the crank choddy hook on. As you can see, this is a new pattern of hook with an outturned eye. It's got a beak point, and it's Tom Dove's creation, and it's kind of a mixture in between a curved shank and a wide gate, but as you can see, it's very obscure, but very, very good and very sharp. So thread that on. I then do 9 times round the hook, whip it back through the eye, and then with the choddy tool, just pull that nice and tight, and then you've got your tag end to create your D, thread a rig ring on, and then fold the D back through the eye, and then gently blob it with a lighter, obviously making sure you don't touch your filament and damage it at all. So pull that down, and then with the choddy tool you can curve your D nice and smooth, so that bait will move freely on it. Moving down, on this particular rig I use the crimp, basically because when we've tested it in the office it's stronger than any knot when crimped correctly, and as you can see you can create a really nice loop easily. So basically how you do it, the crimp is double barreled, thread it onto the mouth trap, then get your size 11 ring swivel, thread that through, and then double it back over, creating your loop and going through the crimp. That way then you can put it to the exact size you want easily rather than tying it down. So then get the crimp tool and crimp it down correctly, making sure you do so because otherwise it obviously won't be as strong. Then I've put on some dark matter putty. Now I've put a large blob on, but I will go down to the lake, test it in the edge, balance it down so it falls really, really slowly, so that's really important. So then moving along to the size 11 ring swivel, I've got 15-pound semi-stiff in silt. Now reason being is because I've moved around here, like I've said, fish are showing, I don't know exactly what the bottom's like, so I want a material that, if I fall on a bit of silt or a bit of weed or gravel, it's going to sit perfectly because it's quite supple, but it's very, very stiff as well. So, we've all seen on the underwater footage or heard about a rig resetting itself. This will do that, so it will constantly, always fall away from the lead. And then as you can see, I've got a little bit of putty, one to keep the boom down, and then also to kink the hook link away. So the traps are set, the fish are out there, they're starting to bob about on the surface now, so I'm going to give it an hour or so and then probably have a move or have a go on the surface. But bright pop-ups, this kind of rig through the spring when the fish are waking up, something eye-catching, and then obviously an effective rig in the right area can, do some damage and hopefully put some more fish on the bank for you.